From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen and proudly welcoming you to this Wednesday's edition of For the People on April the 5th, 2017. I just got done watching Nikki Haley, the ambassador to the UN, give a very, very heartfelt appeal to the General Council about the atrocity that's going on in Syria with Assad, and what he's done was just unthinkable, with graphics to go along with it on the Fox News channel. You should just see the bodies, the photographs that were put out to really shame all those that have allowed this to take place. Now, we do know that Barack Obama did nothing. Inept, just words, and allowed him to do this before. Well, he did the unthinkable yesterday, a very appealing speech again, just a couple minutes here with Nikki Haley just a few minutes ago. Here she is, Nikki Haley at the UN.
They defied the conscience of the world. Russia cannot escape responsibility for this. In fact, if Russia had been fulfilling its responsibility, there would not even be any chemical weapons left for the Syrian regime to use. There is one more thing we know. We know that if nothing is done, these attacks will continue. Assad has no incentive to stop using chemical weapons as long as Russia continues to protect his regime from consequences. I implore my colleagues to take a hard look at their words in this council. We regularly repeat tired talking points in support of a peace process that is regularly undermined by the Assad regime. Time and time again, Russia uses the same false narrative to deflect attention from their allies in Damascus. Time and time again, without any factual basis, Russia attempts to place blame on others. There is an obvious truth here that must be spoken. The truth is that Assad, Russia, and Iran have no interest in peace. The illegitimate Syrian government, led by a man with no conscience, has committed untold atrocities against his people for more than 6 years. Assad has made it clear that he doesn't want to take part in a meaningful political process. Iran has reinforced Assad's military, and Russia has shielded Assad from UN sanctions. If Russia has the influence in Syria that it claims to have, we need to see them use it. We need to see them put an end to these horrific acts.
There's an ambassador for you, Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina. Wow. Powerful and hopefully shaming. But can you shame Russia to do the right thing? 6 years this has been going on, so that means that nothing happened during Barack Hussein Obama's tenure to stop it. And that's the reason why these things continue. Now we have leadership. Now it's going to be interesting to find out what we're going to do. Because apparently Russia and Iran, just like Nikki Haley said, they don't want peace. They clearly don't. And to see these children, men, women, and children, it just breaks your heart to see these pictures. Very graphic, but I'm glad they showed them. The world needs to see what's going on, and to allow these things to just take place again and again and again, it is horrible. Now, President Trump yesterday, he hosted Jordan's King Abdullah II, and with many questions of world leaders and how they'll respond to the deadly chemical attacks in Syria, likely to surge many people's agendas at this time. But Trump has already condemned this attack, which reportedly killed, like I say, dozens of civilians, calling it reprehensible and blaming Syrian President Bashar Assad. The latest attack has also prompted calls from Capitol Hill for a strong response. But what the president and other world leaders will do remains unanswered, with few good options. And the president, interesting enough, has blamed former President Barack Obama, saying he did nothing in 2013 after Assad crossed Obama's red line with a chemical attack. And it was this line in the sand that he drew, and you could see Assad was quaking in his boots. You could see Russia was quaking in their boots. And the reason Russia came in there is because they could, because they want to come and fill that void, that vacuum. And had we not sent more troops into Iraq, Russia would have been there. That's why we're there, because they, of course, in cahoots with Iran and with Bashar Assad. And that's what that's our intelligence knows this. Though Barack Obama has been, I mean, the damage that this ex-president has done to our country and around the world, people are dying still because of this guy's failed policies. We led, and finally we have a leader, but to undo a lot of this garbage, somebody needs to act swiftly and hard to get this guy out of power sooner rather than later. And I hope to God we hit him with everything we have. We know exactly where he is, and we can get him. I would imagine that within days, there's going to be something that's going to go on. We'll hear about it after the fact, but there's going to be some kind of action militarily, I am certain, after these pictures that just were released for the United Nations. Nikki Haley's appeal, I think, is going to echo, and there's going to be some movement. I just cannot imagine Donald Trump sitting on this one. And it's his time to act, and I think it will be a nice, swift message right now to Iran and Russia and anybody that would defy the will of the U.S. in this action, because it's the right thing to do right now, and North Korea. Because North Korea has been putting their nose up, too, and that's going to be another issue that we're going to have to be dealing with, and I imagine sooner rather than later. And these problems were not handled properly. As a matter of fact, they were swept under the carpet and weren't taken seriously. Well, we can see now how serious these folks are. And when you get somebody that's heartless, ruthless like that, and the Russians are actually aiding and abetting this guy, horrible. Yeah, Vladimir Putin, it's the old KGB. The guy is heartless. He's ruthless. This is the way that he operates. Unfortunately, there's other countries that subscribe to these methods, and it's very unfortunate. But when you see these images, it really just takes root. And believe me, I understand that there's so many different atrocities that go on around the world besides these particular places. But I'm saying we had the intelligence, we had the ability, and we once upon a time used to do things to bail people out when the bad man came somewhere, and we sent troops overseas to bail people out, i.e. World War II. We did the right thing. And there's a book that you should probably read if you've never read it. It's been on bookshelves for quite a while. And Tom Brokaw, though I don't agree with all his politics, he wrote a great book for The Greatest Generation. And it tells the story at the heart and the soul of these people, what they did and what they overcame. And I believe that we do have we have spirit, we have might, we have those characteristics, but I'll tell you, that generation dying off exponentially. And the contribution to the greatest generation, if you're listening and you're part of that greatest generation, God bless you. We have not forgotten you. But you know what I'm talking about and why I bring it up here. But our prayers certainly go out for the people of Syria. It's a shame to see what's taken place, and hopefully we can put a stop to it. And it needs to stop. This is ridiculous. Folks, this is day 2 officially of raising money to get our radio stations cranked up all over the country. We're looking to get on more stations, and our goal is just $5,000. And I'm proud to say, Geraldo, you know who you are. You seeded it, and you did it early this morning. I saw it. $20 got it started here. So that's $20 that we've raised at our front page at forthepeopleshow.com. And you say, well, that's not a lot. That's a lot to me. And thank you so much, because that means the world for the people and for our future to be able to get more stations to know about us and how they can pick us up and have our affiliate relations guy go to work over the summer. But we got to raise the $5,000 to get everything in place for him so he can have the software, the computer, and be able to pay him somewhat of a salary to be able to do this. But he'll be working 3-4 months for us solidly to get the word out. And this is the only way, you can actually get on more stations, because I don't have time during the day to do it. He does, and he's a radio pro and knows people in the industry, but he knows the language to speak, and he'll be promoting for the people all over the country, which is exciting, but we need to raise the money to be able to have him do this. So if you haven't already made a donation, you can do that right now at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Right now, and you can do it on your mobile version, on your phone, right? You don't just have to be on your desktop computer. So go ahead and make that difference right now for the people. If you love the show, let's go ahead and share it with some more people across the country. For the People is on the air for you Monday through Friday, giving you the information you need with the insight you deserve. Our mission is simple: to keep you informed without the jargon. We work hard to give you a quality program that makes a real difference in people's lives. Today, we're asking for your help. We would like to expand our on-air footprint throughout the U.S. Our goal of $5,000 will give us the ability to reach out to key decision makers and get us on more radio stations throughout the country. For the People is there for you daily. Will you help us reach our goal? $5,000 is our goal, and we can build this thing together. Let's get to work and grow for the people. Log on to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. You love the show. Now it's your turn to give back. We are counting on our friends. Help For the People now by logging on to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. All right, just like Geraldo, he went to forthepeopleshow.com. He clicked on the donate button, and he made the number go up. And who's going to be the next person to be able to do that? I'll read your name, and you'll know who it is, and let everybody know in the country that you contributed. And it's just for people that love the show. And if you believe, as we believe, and you find yourself reaching for the broadcast, either on this radio station or just on demand, wherever, if you've never given before, this is the first time, you'll feel great about it. Forget about it. Like my late uncle used, forget about it. He was Italian. He was Sicilian. My aunt, she was lucky because my Uncle Rocco was a great cook. And authentic, none of this, Olive Garden stuff. And there's nothing wrong with Olive Garden. It has its place. But, if you're really looking for Italian, there's some special places around, and if you want the taste of Italy, old Italy, nothing like it. But fresh ingredients, and it was absolutely delicious, I got to tell you. But definitely excited to be on the air and raising this money, and we are very proud to say that For the People is listener-supported 100%. And we have to tell you about it, and that's why we do it. We don't do it often, but this is a new initiative, and it's an initiative that is most worthwhile because radio shows, if you're going to grow, you don't want to be stagnant. You want to grow, and, we're on about 5-6 radio stations, really big markets, and we appreciate those stations so very much for carrying the show, but we want to be on more. It's not being greedy. I don't take a salary, and I can't because, there's just not enough coming in. But when that happens, maybe I can pay the electric and pay a few things around here. And that would be most impressive. Like I say, I've just taken over the show 2 years ago with Chuck Harder.